Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. In the immortal words of the butcher from Diablo, ah, fresh meat! That's right, something's on the hook here. I've gotten sent a new replay package by Mr. Mo, who happened to be in the process of playtesting his new map. And this is a 2v2 map specifically, and it wouldn't be the Admiral Mo without including at least one body of water. So it is a naval map in some sort of sense. Map in question is called Solid Valleys, and it very much is reminiscent of another 2v2 map that I think was also made by Mo, which also featured those bodies of water on the sides prominently and had quite a narrow choky middle, but I think it was wider. Anyway, let's take a look at Solid Valleys, and also let's introduce our players. Fresh from Tiberian Dawn, it is Mr. Master TD, and his teammate is Gajcus, whom I featured in 1 or 2 casts by now, and who has just been active in the OpenRA community. I think he comes from SP, but don't quote me on that, as per usual. Also, crates are enabled, excuse me. Is that a for fun match? Anyway, Gajcus and TDMaster are teaming up versus GG and Dere. GG is not an actual Smurf name. Dere is Eugenator, and I've seen him play quite a bit on the ladder as well, I believe. GG, on the other hand, I haven't heard of just yet, but he gets a crate delivered scot-free. Yeah, postal delivery service here. Let's keep an eye out on what that entails. As the oil derrick is being fired down. So, is that a double ref build across the board? No! Someone is idle with his build queue. It is Mr. Aura Starcraft. And Dere actually has opted for a War Factory first. That's interesting. Is it a firebomb? Is it an explosive device? No, it's a rank up for the engineer. Hell yeah. Gets to capture 10% faster. It's actually not how it works, by the way. Just gets to move 10% faster. So, yeah. I'm in between exams now, so I've got a little bit of time to do some casts, which is awesome. Bit of an ambitious route here. The naval yard has been captured by Dere. Is there going to be any sort of naval action? The other naval yard here captured by Master TD. He is a TD player. I don't think you can build boats there. I mean, there are those destroys in the campaign, but they've never been buildable. So, that is a double derrick advantage here for Mr. Gajcus. Pretty good. The other side is being secured by GG, who happens to have a lot of rifles parked here alongside a medic. A little bit of an exposed position on all the engineers, by the way. So far, quite an infantry-centric early game. We haven't seen any crazy vehicle rushes. We've gotten one ranger out on the field. No, it's an APC. Just heard the traditional chain gun. One ranger, one APC. Followed up with a couple of rockets. Not the worst composition. It's so cool to theory craft build orders when you're playing in a team of mixed players with one Allied, one Soviet. It's so much fun. Having the ranger for screening, for sniping rocket soldiers, and then going in with an APC. There are just so many possibilities. Wait, what is that? Yo, Master, what's your infantry doing here? That's $600 just sitting out in the open. Just sitting ducks. Lucky? I was really lucky that Dere wasn't paying attention there. The engineer can vet from crates, yeah. Let's see if that's gonna come into play later on. Oh, that is a Grenadier rush. So, the thing with Grenadiers is, they're not good in 2v2s. Reason being, you can build off your allies' con yards, at least as long as you have that option activated, and I think it is activated here. And there is double the chance that someone looks at this and sees, hey, there are Grenadiers in my base. Time to pop down a pillbox or a flame tower and dispose of that problem within 0.5 seconds. But smartly, Master is using them to kill the oil derricks, which is a valiant effort. Which is a valid use case for Grenadiers, because, yeah, you don't have build radius there. So that's good, but it would also, I think 2 Grenadiers would suffice. He's doing hit and run. Good hustle. It's not actually that dangerous. The explosion doesn't have the biggest AoE. And also just look at how they melt buildings if they're unopposed. So Grenadiers have such crazy damage potential, it's just that they never get to utilize it, really. So, any more crates being delivered recently? Raider Dome double tech out for Dere already, who has been rushing out V2s plus. Ooh, I think that's a who cares build. Rushing out V2s plus an endless stream of rifles is basically the idea. So 2 of the Grens bit the dust here, courtesy of the Ranger, but that's fine. They did their job. I like this wreckage. I also used to do that as a map maker a lot. Just place random debris, random wrecked vehicles, and just place smoke tiles over them. Smoke flares. Looks so cool, but it is performance intensive. Makes the game struggle on all the computers, as it were. So yeah, the V2 rush. Usually you want to play aggressive with this, because you want to delay your opponent from expanding. You want to push him off their expansion slots, but the timing window has kind of been missed. The ship has sailed, which is cool on a naval map. So this is a random assortment of units as an army. There is a light tank, there is a ranger, it's pretty much everything the allies have at their disposal at tier 1.5. Good stuff. So, GG is definitely a variety player here. Nice defense being mounted by GG. There is no way that Master can breach. He also still has the 2 Grens, by the way. Oh yeah, GG sees it. He's just angling the army in such a way that he gets to snipe everything scot-free. Oh, light tank going in. It was worth it. Sacking the light tank for a complete infantry and army wipe. Yep. Thank you, good sir. I'll take that any day of the week. Oh, the Ranger could have blocked the deploy. It can still block the deploy. It's not aware, though. Ah, here comes the transport. Is that an MCV? Or is it an APC loaded with a couple of Grens or something? Okay, a little push here. 2-prong push. He's being held at bay by the V2, but he still has to respect this. What? What did Dere steal there? Huh? I'm not quite sure what happened there, what the game plan is. Let's keep tabs on the transport again. Did he transport anything over? Not yet, right? Okay, and with that, Gajcus is waltzing all over Dere here. But conversely, the Harvesters are waltzing all over Gajcus' army. I mean, they lost 3 Harvesters, it wasn't worth it, but it was quite a solid defense regardless. Very heroic from the Harvesters charging on like this. Shouldn't go into the rocket soldiers, but other than that, he's been completely fine. Alright, another crate delivery. It's unfortunate because it's so similar, the color schemes are so similar. Alright, GG is mounting an artillery defense here. And Master is rotating his entire army single file formation. You don't usually want to do this. Ooh, game's starting to lag here a little. From all the action going on at once. Yeah, by the way, for those people who are wondering, some people have said, yeah, you've got a desync in the webcam now. Yes, that's just how it is, because my new laptop, despite being more powerful on paper than the old one, is actually less powerful. I mean, it performs worse. So I don't know what that's all about, but it should in theory have better specs. So I'm not entirely certain why. Both armies converging from the top side, from the northern side. Oh, taking out the village, committing a couple of war crimes as Gajcus here. Oh, that artillery got caught out a little. Still manages to take out a chunk of the infantry in melee range. Yeah, Master is going in, but he's going into a pillbox wall. Army's kind of split, and here comes the pincer maneuver from GG. Closing the sack, as it were. Oh, and that's gonna result in a lot of dead bodies. There is also GG's base, though, being dismantled by the tanks of Master. So, quite a dynamic game here. Can't really call it for anyone just yet. He's going for the Conyard, which is smart. He's gonna have the DPS to kill it. Yeah, easily. He should do so, though. There we go. Now onto the refinery. That is still a very costly engagement at the end of the day. Doesn't even get the refinery. So Master uses most of his army. Kills a Conyard, but does not kill off the Econ. It's probably not worth it. Yak is out here. Chain guns aiming at whatever random thing they can acquire. Alright, target selection, boys and girls. Yeah, that is a dynamic game. I like that. Here we have... Oh, that's what was going on. Was transporting an engineer over because there is gem mines on the southern islands. I see. So that's how it works. Okay, complete wipe of the army. Lots of medics being mixed in from GG. It's like a 10 stack of medics. It's questionable in the late game, usually because lethality is so high. If you happen to get hit by a single RD shell or something, all those medics are for naught. But it is still a scary army at the end of the day. The heavy tanks are going in. Do they have enough staying power? Doesn't look like it. They are not connecting. This is a very dense formation of infantry, broken up by the V2. Good hit there. But still, the army is still standing. GG has traded amazingly well. Actually, courtesy of the medics to some degree. Believe it or not. Yeah, look at that. Look at that healing power. That is fairly impressive. Those are the most resilient medics I've seen in OpenRA. Damn, son. GG has really traded up here. Plus, he's still got all his econ. He's got a couple helicopters out now. Black Hawks are starting to appear on the scene. Nah. There is a sneaky expansion from Dere. I like that. I like the gusto of this expansion here. It has not been scouted, and it is yielding gems. This is an insane yield here. Yield farming. Man, this is crazy. This is actually interesting. You would have to deploy a conyard here in order to get access as the northern team. So basically you're being cut off from your own most juicy expansion. Alright. TDMaster has a crate delivered to him. Can you actually pull up a Tesla coil here and shoot over the ridge? I think you can. Alright, TDMaster is not noticing. So far the impact of those crates has not been as large as I had given it credit for. Oh, lots of flamers for Master. That is not something you want to do in RA. In TD, flamers are insanely potent, but in RA they get countered very easily. As part of a standing army that is. Those medics! I swear to god, they're actually a really good counter to the damage over time from the flamethrowers. Not so much to the Tesla quills, because those just insta-zap 3 infantry units. And that's that. Man, that is a strategy. I should pull the stop key out here, though. Oh, no room to dodge here. No space for any dodges. And here comes the counter push. That was maybe an overextension from GG. He lost too many units to the crushes from the tanks. Ooh, can he stem the tide here? No more frontline for Master, though. Oh, this MCV is being hosed down. Being flamed barbecued within a matter of seconds. Right? Overzealous expansion. I see what's happening on this front. A tech center is out for Gajcus. So Gajcus has all the trump cards here in his hands. He is Russia, so slight chance of Tesla tanks. For now, though, he's content just farming the Tesla coils of his opponent. That was a whiff. That one was not a whiff. Uh-oh, in comes the cavalry. Oh, Iron Curtain has been fired, but the V2 blanket fire lands smack dab on the middle of the infantry blob. No target fire yet. Okay, he's target firing the blob now. That was good. That was really well played from Dere. And Gajcus's Iron Curtain is running out in just a second, but it bought him enough time to push back all the army, and there is only V2s remaining. Holy smokes. 4 V2. Ah, he's walling off. That is brilliant from Dere. He's trying to protect his V2s there. What a lethal cluster of units. MiG is out here, so Tech Center out for Dere as well. Both the Soviet players are on high tech now. Oh, ouch. I'm hearing some MiG fire. Yeah, going for the unprotected harvesters in the corners. This is so tough to deal with. You need to basically relegate 2 or 3 flak trucks for duty. Yep, thank you. That's the first harvester down. Should now pull back. Maybe it's an issue with the stop command. Usually if you press the F key, aka the deploy key, the aircraft used to return. But that's apparently no longer the case as of this release. At least sometimes it doesn't work. It's kind of weird. Seems to be a bug more than anything. Oh! This transport has been completely... Yeah, jeez, he has harvested everything here. Let's take a look at Dere's economy department. Yeah, he has earned a lot, but Master actually has been more efficient even. Huh. Parabombs have been deployed, but complete whiff. That was probably Gajcus trying to deal with the incursion. Oh, those helicopters ain't going anywhere near this blob. Still a fairly lethal army out here for Gajcus as well. 4 yucks. That is enough to burst anything short of a Conyard or a War Factory. That is a very, very lethal squad. Can kill probably the Radar Dome. I think he's looking for the tech center though. Yep. Down goes the... Oh, no. Radar Dome. Alright. Interesting. Interesting choice. He could have actually cancelled the Mammoth tank. Not that he could have had any chance of knowing that, but... No more ammo left in the base to kill the tech center as well. No chance here. But nice play. He's also pulling back. Retaining most of his army. Oh, the MiG has been pivotal here. It's already killed off. Oh! The Iron Curtain has been fired on only one tank. Good micromanagement, I've gotta say, from Dere. But he's losing his army. There's a crate! Oh no! This crate is gonna go to his opponent, isn't it? Oh! It is a hotly contested crate, quite literally. Containing an explosive payload. That is fucking hilarious. Alright. That is my moment of the match so far. Sums it up perfectly. Mammoth tanks is the new army composition, followed up by attack planes, by MiGs from Dere. So yeah, fairly high tech, fairly hard to micromanage. Yeah, Master has been going for his patented TD strats. Infantry Deathball, mass APCs. By the way, it's not for a lack of tech. Oh, he's following up with Shakis as well. What an interesting idea. Oh, the FCOM is going down, so the expansion has been scouted at the end of the day. Soon. Still not dead. Oh my goodness, if they deploy like a barracks here now, that's gonna spell trouble. My goodness. Master is ready to just pounce on any army that moves. And those couple Mammoth tanks are gonna do nothing in the light of the threat that is gonna manifest itself. Gajcus' Iron Curtain is almost back up. He deployed a paradrop. That's cool. Sometimes you can just deploy paradrops in your own ranks to just bolster your ranks. It's not the worst thing. It's just 3 units. More crates. Yeah. Explosive? Is it gonna be cash or bust? Huh? Pinging it, yes. No. Doesn't want to accept the gift. Oh yeah, there's a volunteer. You have been selected to volunteer. Oh, heal. Not that it doesn't do anything here. Not that it would have done anything here. Yeah, actually naval would have been so lethal, especially as allies. But even nuclear submarines would have been good. Missile subs, that is. I always get the names wrong because they're one of those weird units. They used to have a completely different name in the German version, and that was what I played when I was a kid. And in the German version, they're interestingly enough called Submarine of the Wolf class. I don't know why. That it is a Cold War reference, I know that much, but I don't know why they renamed it. No particular reason. Other changes I know were made because of censorship, you know. Okay, finally that goes down here. It's hilarious. That has netted him so much cash. Dere has been floating for a long time. No longer now. No, he's still mining here. Sort of. Chi-Chi being the only player who doesn't have high tech, and it's gonna come to bite him in the arse at some point, because Tanya is invaluable in the late game for mowing down enemy infantry hordes, as well as East Germany, so it could have gone Chrono. Like, in 2v2 team games, Chrono tanks are lethal. You could have just Chrono shifted onto this blob with a couple tanks, instantly demolished them. Oh no! This little paradrop, really? They are gonna get the Conyard. Oh no! And now it's time for the Soviet tank hammer to strike. Just dismantling all the defenses here. Parking on the ore. Good hustle. Oh, he's going for a double prong. The entire army is rotating for Gajcus. Problem is, he has the Iron Curtain, sure, but what does he have after that? Oh, suicide from the... suicide attack run from the MiG. The first one at least. Okay, tanks pulling out for now. There is the Iron Curtain onto one heavy tank, really well positioned, is soaking up most of the fire, but that allows the tank's time to go in unopposed. So I don't know if that actually favors Gajcus. It was, at the end of the day, I know why he did it, and it was a good Iron Curtain value proposition-wise, but it's still gonna... maybe not gonna be enough. Okay, and here's the big engagement, the Shakis. They are nerfed. The Shakis aren't that great. And that one artillery. Oh, that's the kill zone! Like, every single shot here is gonna like, pay back triple of what the artillery cost. Oh my lord, he's just been feeding that into this one artillery. Oh, Jesus. That was not the best value proposition. Chi-Chi, though, doesn't have much left. Chi-Chi doesn't have much of an army. Oh, and out comes the Yak fleet. Into an anti-air gun. He is committing hard. What is going on here? Completely sacking his entire Yak fleet in the process. But he is doing so in order to push out GG. On the other side, we're seeing Gajcus still battling, going toe-to-toe with Dere. Oh, Iron Curtain here has been deployed as well, so both Iron Curtains for the southern team are now out of operations for 2 minutes. And there is still a death ball of Shakis. They're now no longer great against heavy armor. He used to be very, very efficient at that, but... Oh, Chi-Chi being called. Despite this suicide run, this literal suicide run from all those Shakis, it has been enough. It's unfortunate that Naval didn't play a role here. But what a game. What a game indeed. Yeah, that was really well fought. Master actually ended up with the lowest score, courtesy of his shock blob just all dying to a single artillery. But just proves that sometimes you don't have to be efficient in order to win. Dere actually with a really smart move, just stealing the proximity expansion away. At the end of the day, I feel it was his lack of tech, Chi-Chi's lack of tech that held him back here. Because Tanya in a pillbox would have just shredded this army. Also, the Chronosphere would have gotten value over time. Chrono tanks would have been an absolute hard counter to this blob style of Master, because not only can you chrono shift your own tanks onto the enemy infantry and they have no chance of dodging, they're gonna get crushed 100%, but also you can chrono shift the enemy mass APC vehicles with your advanced Chronosphere into a meat grinder, because they don't have DPS, you just chrono shift them into your own tanks and they die. And that's the end of the story. Yeah, so I really feel like the lack of Allied Tier 3 was what choked them out at the end of the day. But a really cool, dynamic, fun 2v2. I would have liked more naval action, I concur with Mo there. But thank you to Mo for sending that regardless, it was highly entertaining, and there is more where that one came from, because Mo used to did a playtesting session on that map. So, next week I think we're gonna do 1 or 2 more matches on this particular map. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.